name's Damon. I'm a barber and an educator here in Wellington, New Zealand. I'm originally from the UK and I've been doing this for about 11 years now. I was born in Cambridge in a white working class council estate in the 80s, early 80s. And there was nothing to do apart from cause trouble and get into mischief as a young lad. Growing up, I had very little. Very, very little. I had a lot of fear, a lot of anger, and a lot of anxiety as a child, and these are things that back in the 80s weren't things. I grew up with parents who were drug dealers and drug users. Yeah, that fueled me to become the opposite. I wanted to achieve things, and I wanted to help people. It just kind of dawned on me all of a sudden that I need to learn a skill. I need to learn a trade. I had a friend who was a colleague of mine actually. I used to work in a retail store with, and his brother was barbering in London. So I called this guy Pete and I said, hey, I want to be a barber. And I don't know why I thought I wanted to be a barber. I didn't know anything about it at all. I didn't even know what barbering was. I didn't know the difference between barbering and hairdressing. And I saw the challenge ahead of me and I saw how hard it would be, but I wanted it. I wanted that challenge. I was really hungry for it. And I called him and he was like, yep, sweet. So you need to get this and this and this and this. Meet me at Liverpool Street next week. So I went to meet this guy and he had a very small operation in the basement of a barber shop. And basically like I was there for like 8 weeks, 9 weeks, something like that. And I basically learned how to cut some long hair on some long mannequins, and then Pete goes to me, all right, go out on the street and get some clients. I'm in the street for like hours, you know, sir, trying to get people's attention, trying to get them into the shop for a free haircut. Of course, eventually someone takes the bait. What's the catch? Well, nothing. I'm just learning to be a barber and I need your help. Didn't know anything about the theory of barbering. I didn't know anything about the history of barbering at all, so I had to learn that for myself, and I became in love with it, you know, from that moment. I'd been barbering for 10 plus years. So coming here and trying to find my place in some culture that I'd never been around before was quite daunting. After a while, I just found myself kind of repeating what I'd already done for the last 8 to 10 years. And I was still barbering. I was still doing the same thing. It was cyclical. I was doing it the same as I was in London, but it was just a slightly different environment in a slightly more beautiful country with slightly better coffee. Anyway, so I found myself stuck in a bit of a rut again. I found that even though I was enjoying life here and I was enjoying barbering still, I was still just a barber. I saw an advert for Welltec, advertising for a barber tutor. So I applied for it and I went to have the interview and I got it straight away. This was the most serious grown-up job that I'd ever been interested in, and I got it first time and I was super stoked, you know. And I wanted to break out of the mold of just doing the same thing every day. I wanted more of a challenge and I was hungry for something new. And I realised that I was actually starting to get good at talking to the youth here in New Zealand. So I came to Welltec and I was the first ever barbering tutor here. So I had no idea whether I was qualified enough. On paper, I have very little qualification myself in terms of academia. So I started teaching and I had no idea what it was going to be like. I was very nervous about how the whole thing would go and very, very anxious to get it right and connect with my students the same way that I connected with my clients previously. I was again able to change people's lives and make them better in an even more of a profound way, because this time I'm not just giving them the space to be listened to for half an hour. This time I'm actually giving people careers. I'm actually getting people jobs. I'm actually getting people who don't have much hope in life or seem to think they don't have much hope in life, just as I did, giving them opportunity where they didn't have it previously. You know, coming from another country on the other side of the world, I just didn't expect to be respected by young people in New Zealand. I just thought they'd think of me as some old white dude who doesn't know what he's talking about, doesn't know anything about this country or our culture or anything else. But they all arrived at this same nexus, this same place that I had been at, so I could identify with that. And they could identify with me because I decided that being open and being honest and telling them about my life story and telling them about my struggles was a really good way to connect. I came in fully open with every bit of respect, and as a result, I got that respect straight back. I was just about to start my second year in teaching, and I was ready mentally and emotionally, and I was feeling grounded, and I was loving my life, and I was loving my job and everything. And then I got a call one night, a week before I started my new intake for the year, and my father had died. I wasn't surprised, because he'd been a heavy drug user for most of his life. And I was very, very sad and very depressed, and I decided that I wouldn't take any time off and I would just come in and work. I got on the bus in the morning. Instead of getting off at my usual stop, I went to see my friend Lance, who's a barber. I had no plan to do this. I just found myself getting off the bus and walking into the barbershop. I didn't really say anything to Lance that day. And I don't think he knows to this day. And something inside me wanted to just, just wanted to be seen, wanted to be cared for, I suppose, wanted to just be. The conversation wasn't its usual flowing laughs and jokes. It was quite quiet, but he felt my quiet, and he respected my quiet. He proceeded to cut my hair, and there wasn't any small talk. I just looked in the mirror at myself the whole time, and it was quite confronting. And bearing in mind my dad had just died 4 hours prior to this, and I said nothing about it. I never really thought about why I did that or when I went in or anything, but it was quite an amazing moment. And I think that right there, what I'm talking about, is the importance of the place that we have in people's lives. I realised that obviously barbering is far more than just a haircut. It's far more than just a beard trim. It's far more than a service. There's a profound counselling nature in barbering, which I think any barber who's done this for a number of years will be able to tell you. It's about intimacy. It is about establishing trust. It's about creating a safe space for people to be and exist in, building people up. It's about giving people self-esteem and confidence. We can't leave this industry no matter how little we're being paid, or no matter how much we're working, or how injured we are. We can't turn our backs on it, because we get so much out of it just by providing this platform to help people. And the power of that is really very evident once you start doing it. It's something that's obviously led to me being where I am and enjoying it the whole time.